Hey everybody, this is Alex Merced from alexmercedcoder.com, and in the last video we built the login and logout button, so I'm able to log in and log out. So we want to make a couple more fixes on this. So what we're going to do is we just need to add also a register screen, so you can create a new user. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the form that we have here. Let's see here, login form. Okay, I'm going to create another form. And this one's going to be called create user. Even though this should say login. Now that I'm realizing I've named some of these variables weird. So I should probably call this login username, so I have to refactor a little bit. So in the login form, it should be login UN and login PW, not create UN. So let me go change, and then this is going to become handle signup. So we'll create another function in a moment. But I'm going to leave that there for a second so you can pause and take a look at my HTML there. I will save it so it auto formats. Okay, let's go to app.js and let's make those changes. So what I do want is I want another copy of these, but I want there to be a login. So actually login is going to be bound to login UN and login PW. So I need to refactor my login thing here. So this should be login UN, login PW, because it's from the login form. And then over here it's going to reset login PW, login UN. So my login functionality is there. Now I need to create the signup functionality. So I'm going to create another function. Let's just see where this function ends. That function ends there. So we can create another function here. Handle signup. Function. Cool. Let's see here. How to use, how to handle the signup feature. Okay, one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to borrow the URL thing again. So I'm going to just copy that because we're going to be making an API call. Okay, and then we're going to be making the user object again, so I might as well copy that as well. Most of this is going to be pretty the same. The only difference is now we're not using login UN, we're using create UN, the create forms username and password. So that creates our user object. Then we make a fetch. Fetch backticks URL backslash what was it? I think it's just users, and then we do a post request to there. So we do a method post headers, which is going to be content type, because again we're sending in some JSON. Content type application JSON, and then application type method headers. The body will just be the user object, JSON.stringify the user object from over here. So there's our fetch. That should create a new user. Then, okay. Then it's again response. We have to just JSON the response, and then we finally get the data. Okay, and let me just, we should, well, let's console log what the data is. Okay. So again, it's a handle sign up function. If you want to pause and take a look at it real quick. 1, 2, 3, go. So let's see if this all changed. So there we go. So now we have a create user form. So let's say I want to create a user. So we'll say Alex Merced 3. Pineapple's the password. Pineapple. Oh, the button still uses the login. Which that shouldn't have been successful. Interesting. We'll come back and test that out. First, let me just attach the right function to the right button. So over here on this form on submit, we want to do handle sign up, which is what we chose. So let me think here. So handle sign up happened. Then we did this. Why did it go? Oh, because it's all in the same form tag. That's why. I see. This needs another form. A closing form tag here. There we go. Save. So let's do Alex Merced 4. Pineapple. Create user. That's still very weird. So let's examine. We have login form. You login. Now what I'm thinking about, let's see here. Dot then, yeah, so that's all in the dot then, so it should only be changing. Let's take a look at the network, see, we're getting the login thing each time. So let's refresh. Oh yeah, that's right, because it's in the browser now. It's not live. I'm not using live server anymore, so I gotta refresh now. Okay. So still concerned about the login thing, because if I type in this and this, it should not work. But it is. Okay, so that's not cool. So we're getting it invalid. So what we need to do is create a check to see if it's error. So if what we want to do is do this. If data dot error, then alert error logging in, else then we'll do all this. There we go. Save. Let's try that out. Oops, I broke it. What's this say? Oh, okay, I see. You just went somewhere in the something else. So this is the user area. Okay, so let's refresh this and see what happens. So gibberish. Error logging in. Good. Now let's see if I give it the right username. Alex Merced, Pineapple. Then it works. Good. Now let's try to create a new username. Alex Merced 5, Pineapple. Okay, let's see what happens in the console. Error, invalid username or password. 58. Console.log data. That shouldn't be invalid username or password. Because we are not logging in. So let me just take a look at the, let's take a look at that network call. Users right here. Okay, where's our body? Valid username or password. That shouldn't be it. So let's go back to take a look at our backend controllers. So back to our users controller and user. Yeah, it does say invalid username or password, which doesn't make sense. The token. Which I think it's complaining because we have an age property in our user. So probably wants me to add an age. So let me try that. Let's go to create. So users, post, Alex Merced 5. Yeah, that created a new user. That worked out just fine. So then what's wrong with this? Alex Merced 5. Unpermitted parameter user. Oh, it's because it's supposed to be username. So let's take a look here. User. So where are we passing the user as a parameter? Let's see here. Username, password, user equals username. How am I doing that? Let's take a look here. Parameters. JSON.stringify user. So suppose I'm passing in a third object, username, Alex Merced. I'm trying to see why that's the case. Username is this.create UN. Password. Let's console log user. See why. Because now I see what the problem is. We're getting this extra property here, user, but I'm not sure quite where that is coming from. Let me see here. It's an object of user. Const user username. Okay, so let's console log the user. It's that user object that's forming funny. So let's refresh the page. Alex Merced 6. Pineapple. Console. So see, there it looks fine. But when it receives it, it doesn't. Okay. User. Let's see if I just JSON.stringify it from here. JSON.stringify. Okay, and then what we do, then I pass it in over here. Just as user. Let's see if we get a different response. Control. Alex Merced 6. Fine. Apple. And there it is again. Username. Actually, scroll down. Set 5. Okay, that was when we created it. That time I don't even have an error. Create as parameters. Must be something in the back end. Let's take a look at users. Create user. Go look at the params. User, username, age. I don't see any reason why. For action authorize only for auto login. And it worked in Postman, so I'm not sure why. Console elements. Sources, performance, network. Yeah, so we see it. We sent this over. That's what they should be receiving. But we're still getting an error. Alex Merced, password, username, password digest. That's fine. Created at. Okay, that looks like it created. No, that's number 5. Started post users, user controllers, create as completed. But why? Let's see here. So create users. So try to create a user based on the params. And then we're sending in this, which looks like perfectly fine. If I change this to 7. Interesting. There's the problem. Content type. Content type. Okay, content type application JSON. So it was a typo. Content type. That should definitely have an effect. So let's try this again. Refresh. Alex Merced 6. Pine. Apple. And now it works. What was a typo? It was a little typo. I was missing a T in content. Wonderful. Let's see, we created a new user. And that's cool. And now we can log in. Alex Merced 6. Pineapple. Oh, didn't like that. See here, age, username Alex Merced 6. This must be the password that needs to be fixed. Pineapple. refresh. Alex Merced 6. Okay, that's working. Okay, so we can log in, we can create users. We do want to clean up that create user feature a little bit. Okay, so that way they know that the user is created. So handle sign up. Once that is done, what we want to do is just create an alert. Well, we'll just do an if error alert sign up unsuccessful, and else sign up successful. Let's try that out. Let's refresh. Alex Merced 7. Pineapple. Yep, sign up was successful. Good. Now I go over here to do Alex Merced 7. Pineapple. I can log in successfully. Great, with the new username. And then if I make up a username and I make up a password, error logging in. Good. Okay, so our login and sign up works perfectly and we're able to log out. So now we just have to build out the actual dashboard for the user. Notice everything kind of looks ugly right now. I haven't done any styling. We can style at the end. Okay. I always just like to get all the functionality built out first and then we'll make it look pretty. So I will see you guys in the next video.